Good evening. Good evening. Well, my story is definitely not going to be funny. Kirti, you are hilarious as always. It's going to be rather emotional. I just want you to know that. And I not only brought my baby, but also husband and great crowd of people, great friends. So thank you so much for coming, everyone. Well, everyone, David actually started that everyone has a story, and I also have a story. And sometimes what you see in movies or on news, it just becomes a reality in your life. I can't see your faces, so it's really weird. I'm really used to light and light, so this is really weird. I can't see your facial expressions and everything. Anyway, just to give you a little background of myself, my name is Daeyeon Kim. I'm coming from South Korea, and I've been living in this wonderful country, Germany, for 12 years. That means I'm also married also for almost 12 years with this wonderful Korean-German husband. Raise your hand, exactly. Okay. And we have really, really hilarious and funny little girl. She's 4 years old. We actually had a babysitter, and we asked her, you're going to be staying with a babysitter. And she's like, Mommy, no, because we're like a trinity. Mommy, Daddy, and me. We're like a set menu, so I need to come with you. So I said, but Yuna, this is not child-friendly, so you need to sleep. So she's like, okay. So we're on our way, and we said, Yuna, are you going to sleep? And she's like, yes, Mommy. And that's what she did. So she's asleep, we're loud, it doesn't matter. She's going to sleep because she's so used to this. Well, I was born into a family of 5, mom, dad, and 2 brothers. You know, and I was in the middle. I always say they're the buns and I'm the meat, most important. But just growing up with 2 brothers, it's like a battlefield because I always had to fight for my piece of meat. Can you imagine? So if you're wondering why I'm eating so fast, because I'm trained to eat fast. Otherwise, there's no food for me. Some of my friends would say, I'm out of breath when I'm eating with you. Anyway, exactly. Oftentimes I was just wondering, you know what? I wish I had sisters instead of brothers. Brothers are really annoying. I want sisters. So I asked my mom, can I have sisters? And she said, well, you have 2 brothers. You can't really change that. But consider me as your sister. So, she was like, we did everything together, including shopping, because shopping was a very important part of our lives. And so my mom was like my best friend. She was like my mentor, and she was like a role model to me. You know what I remember of my mom is my mom was a woman of faith. Her day started early in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. Can you imagine getting up 4:30 in the morning? She woke up at 4:30 in the morning to attend an early morning service to pray for our family. So I thought, do I have to do the same if I become a mother? The truth is, I'm not. Exactly. And anyway, so my mom, when I was little, I felt like her prayer did a lot to me, and I felt carried by her prayers. Let me think. December 2009, my mom was diagnosed with uterus cancer. When I first heard the news, I was really concerned, and I was very worried about it. But then I thought it was an early stage of cancer, so it's okay. Once the operation is done, she's gonna be fine. That's what we all thought. And after her operation, I went to Korea to spend some time with her. It was in April 2010. We had a great time. She was a little weak because she was recovering from her operation. Yet, we spent a great time together, shared a lot of laughter, and we even went on a shopping. Then after having great time together, I came back to Germany. It was May 2010. Then I heard the news that her symptom worsened, and one day she actually received a phone call from the doctor who operated her, who also said, you know what, it went so well that you don't even have to come back to the hospital. The same doctor called my mom and said, well, the cancer spread all over your body, and I need you to come for the chemotherapy. But then he also added, well, but you know what, even with the chemotherapy, I cannot really guarantee your life. What kind of doctor is that to the person? So I think she really felt discouraged, and she decided against chemotherapy because she thought to herself, what's the point of going through the chemotherapy when there's no guarantee of life, right? So I came back to Germany in May 2010. Within a month, my mom passed away on the 3rd of June 2010. After she died, I was so hopeless because she was so dear to me, and we talked about everything. Even though we were so far away from each other, we talked on the phone every single day about every kind of issues. So not having mom was like, I don't know what to do. Glad I was married, I had a wonderful husband, but still, I felt like a big part of my life was really missing. And then I was just thinking, in her absence, I was like wondering, who's actually gonna pray for me? Then, one day, I had a dream. It was like we had a meeting at our place, and friends were like leaving and going home. And my mom came to our flat, our apartment. And she looked really healthy, really hilarious as always. And she came right in, and she started cleaning and cooking. And then, that's what she did all the time whenever she came to Germany. And then, I saw her praying in her little room. Her little prayer room in Korea was for some reason, it was also in our apartment. So in my dream, I came to a realization that even though she is over there up in the heaven, she never stopped praying for me. So that was really amazing. Then, after my mom passed away, what was really sad was that my grandmother, who is my dad's mother, she passed away too. She was actually a really healthy person, but then I think the news about my mom shocked her that maybe she had cancer, but then because she's old, she never really, cancer was there, but it wasn't active. But then with my mom's news, it just became so active in her body that it shocked her, and as a result of that, she died of a heart attack. 1 year after my grandmother passed away, my grandfather, who is my dad's father, also passed away. Our family had 3 funerals in a row every single year. And in Korea, funeral is like not only 1 day, it's like 5 days. Exhausting. And you meet these people, and I almost felt embarrassed because, I don't live in Germany, but all my friends came, and it's all, it was for the bad news, right? So when my grandfather passed away, we thought to ourselves, you know what? Seriously, no more sorrow, no more pain. It's gonna be good from now on. Happy moment, we're just gonna be happy. Then we had some happy moments because we welcomed our little daughter into the world. When she was in my belly, I prayed to God, I know it sounds really impossible because we're three children, we all look like our dad. So strong gene, Kim's family. So I know it sounds really, really impossible, but I would love it, and it would give me so much comfort if our daughter, her appearance is after my mom. Because my mom was a beautiful woman. And so after 28 hours of contraction, the doctor came and said, I think you're a very small person, and your daddy, you're not your daddy, your baby is quite big. So we need to have a C-section. So I'm like, I was so desperate because I'm like, why didn't you tell me like 28 hours before? So I am so upset said that's the reason why I'm not having another baby, because I'm horrified. After 28 hours, I was doing so well with my, anyway. So the doctor, he took the baby out, and he scared me. What he did was, this is your baby. And then my baby was so hairy. She looked like Mowgli. And then she wasn't clean at the time, so I'm like, oh! So it wasn't like, oh, my baby, oh, it wasn't like that. It was like, ew. But then my husband said, look at her. She looks like your mom. And I'm like, and then the midwife, she's so funny because she was keep pushing my baby into like my side after C-section, and I'm like, she's maybe I didn't have enough mothering instinct. Well, anyway, so he was like, yeah, she looks like your mom. And I looked at her afterwards, after taking a little bit of nap, after 28 hours of all that. And I looked at her, I'm like, oh my goodness, she really does look like my mom. And even like I've got a little baby photo of my mom. And our child, Yuna, she's like, this is me, Yuna baby. She says that as well. When she was like only 15 months old, she's like, Yuna baby, it's me. So this is so awesome. Anyway, so she brought so much joy to our lives. It's been so incredible. Raising that little child has been one of the best blessings we've had experienced. And we thought this joyful moment will continue. Then, another incident really hit our family with shock and a big sorrow. It was last year in the morning of my birthday. And I love having a party. Many of my friends know I love having a party. I love dancing. So I had planned a dance party. When I woke up in the morning, not 4:30, at 6 a.m., I was very excited. Ooh, it's my birthday. I love myself so much that I love my birthday too. So I woke up, and because I love myself so much, I knew that people would love me as well. And I was checking some messages from my friends. Then it was like a Korean version of WhatsApp. I saw my older brother saying Rehyun. So I'm like, I assume that it's gonna be happy birthday, I love you, things like that. So I didn't even check his message. Then I saw like a lot of messages, okay, good. And I went on Facebook to check other messages. But then I just thought, oh, let's take a look at the newsfeed. What's happening in the world, around the world, with my friends on my birthday. So I went on a news feed, and I was really shocked to find out about this Facebook posting from my older brother. He posted a photo of my dad's apartment. The window was broken, and he wrote, "There was a gas explosion in my father's apartment. Luckily, that is okay. But our cleaning lady died on the spot, and our little brother, he was sent to a hospital and is unconscious. Please pray." This happened on my birthday. Excited, and then I just saw this news. I was so shocked. The words cannot express. I thought it was just a bad dream. So I ran into the living room, hoping that it was just a bad dream. I called my brother. I tried to get hold of him. I couldn't get hold of him. And I messaged him. I was like, what's happening? And he called me back. And he said, he's unconscious. He's in emergency. We'll just have to see. So my friends who heard the news, they came over. And soon we started to really pray. I'm a Christian, so I had so much faith, and I was praying for the miracle. But then, during our prayer time, what happened was I got a phone call from my older brother saying, come to Korea for the funeral. Yeah. So that was really hard. Then, some people ask me, did that make you feel really angry with God? Did that change your relationship with Jesus? And I have to say, no. There is a guy called Job in the Bible. He had a really blessed life. And suddenly, he lost everything. He lost all his possessions. He lost his children and even health. Then his wife comes to him and said, look at you, despise your God. And he's like, no, because in times like this, God is the only one that I can hold on to. And I could relate myself with that guy, Job. Because in times like that, I was so thankful that I had this God by my side. I could feel he was comforting me, and I could feel that he was changing my perspective. I'm an entrepreneur with some of my ladies here. And we as entrepreneurs, we always talk about what is our 5 years plan? What is our 10 years plan? What is our 20 years plan? We like to project our lives and make plans, and that's what we try to do. But you know what? I realized that this is no worth. Everything changed ever since my little brother, he just left like a wind. Of course, it is. I'll be lying if I say my life is perfect right now, and I moved on. The truth is, not always, but oftentimes I'm in tears because I miss my mom, my brother, and my grandparents so much. The truth is, I'm in so much fear sometimes because I'm so scared of being left alone and see the loved ones go before me. But I want you to remember this. Steve Jobs, the guy that we know, he left this awesome quote. He said, he actually wake up in the morning, he looks himself in the mirror, and he says, if today were the last day of my life, would I do what I'm about to do? If today is the last day of your life, would you do what you're about to do? Forgive if you need to forgive anyone. Express your love to the ones that you love. Cherish every moment with the ones you love. Encourage the ones who need your encouragement. And I just want to encourage you, really. Life is so short to be unhappy. Live your life. Today could be your last day, right? So do what you love to do and embrace the people around you. Thank you.